And let me turn off the Christmas music here. I should have done that before I started the recording. I can't get it to stop. There. Okay. Good evening, Hope Dealers. It is so good to be back with you tonight. I really missed you all on our November call, and we were drowning in boxes and moving by at that point. But a huge thanks again to Connolly, to Amber, to Fran. You all did such a great call. I listened the very next day, and if anyone has not heard that one live or recorded, that is one you want to go back and just put it where you can hear it again and again. Tonight, I want to start by saying it's so easy right here on December 7th to think, oh, 2022 is almost over and everyone's busy out there with holidays and, parties and shopping and plans and all that. I'm not going to really work it this month. I'll find some time to maybe reflect on the year and think about what I want for 2023 and set some new goals and think about the habits that I want to do in a few more weeks when it's January 2023. I know that temptation is there to think like that. It's real for everyone. It's real for me right now, having just moved less than 3 weeks ago. And if you could see what's behind me, I'm pretty sure the camera doesn't show the boxes that are still to be unpacked in here and in about every other room in the house. It would be really easy for me to think, let me just wait until January. But I remember hearing, thanks, Con. I remember hearing early on in this business, and I know that every one of you who have been in this any length of time have found this principle to be true, that we're always working our business 30, 60, 90 days in advance in this business, that what I do right here in December determines what January, February, and March look like. And so it's important what I do with December 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. No, we're not going to work on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. We're not that crazy, but we've got lots of days between now and then. And there is no better time than December to talk with people about, well, what do you think I'm going to say? I don't even have my chat up. The 30 days to healthy living. It's also a great time to talk with them about derm results and holiday products being 20% off before their discount, and Blackberry Fizz. I am in love. I think I have 5 boxes and more to come. But I'm going to focus on the 30 days to healthy living and related programs tonight, because it's still just amazing to me that we have this. I probably have a greater appreciation for it because most of you don't know Arbonne without it, but I built my business from start to region without the 30 days even being invented yet. And so it was probably getting from the beginning to district to area to region, probably 90% of my sales came from skincare and cosmetics, and maybe 10% because I loved the protein shakes and fizz, used them separately, standalone, awesome products. But in 2011, when this 30 days to healthy living first started, wow, that opened up a whole new realm for us. And now I have clients who are all nutrition with little to no skincare. I have clients that are just the opposite, skincare with little to no nutrition, but I keep trying to I've introduced the ones to the other. And I have a lot of clients who are smart enough to realize that this is the place where one-stop shopping can be done, and they find what they need in both areas and that. But we have so much more to offer than just the best shakes and the best fizz. It is that full 30 days to healthy living program with the support, with the education, with the recipes, and with our personal connection. And right now, if you listen in conversations, you already hear people talking about, they've overindulged at Thanksgiving. And then before they could even catch a break from that, it's December and the holiday parties and the treats and the whole parade of that just starts coming in, and it seems like there's no end to it. So what are people saying? After Christmas, I'm going to exercise more, join a gym, eat healthier, lose some weight, get in shape, make better choices, and on it goes. And here we hold in our hands a program that works like no other. right before this call, you may not have had a chance to see it. It was scheduled to drop at 7:50, but I posted a new s'more that you can use to share with others what our 30 Days to Healthy Living is all about. I want you to know in this business, especially if you're newer, that your effectiveness in sharing this program does not rest on your ability to communicate it. It is like you think you're supposed to be like an EMVP on stage training on it, and we compare ourselves against that and then just don't share. But tools like this are there so that even the newest consultant can use these. And I just love the culture of Arbonne because another EMVP created this. She did not have to share it with the whole Arbonne world, but they always do. And I just so appreciate that we have this great s'more. And at the very beginning of it is a video by Dr. Deanna Holdren. And some of you may recognize that name. This is a book that I already had by her. She is a EMVP. She's also a family practice physician. And to read her credentials so you know who's doing this video, practices in the area of functional medicine, specializes in nutritional healing, in bioidentical hormone balance, whole body detoxification, and the reversal of inflammation in the body. Does that sound a little like skip the bioidentical hormone part, but the rest of it sounds like our 30 days. And this is who does this video. Highly recommend her book too. And she has a great podcast on all kinds of different health subjects. But anyway, that's just a little bonus there. So if you have this great tool to share, I think the next obstacle could be like, what do I say? It's one thing to just say, hey, I really think that you could use this. And, EMVP Eunice Ray was on stage at GTC. Some of you know what I'm going to say. She made us all double over laughing. Fran's got it when she said, I don't know how she phrased it, but when she said something like, when I see someone with that, big soft belly, just like lapping over their belt line, I just put my finger in there and say, I can help with that. And Eunice Ray, knowing her, she probably has done it. But for all the rest of us, I have some different verbiage to share that just might go over a little better with who you're talking with. Could you say to an existing preferred client or potential preferred client, I have had so much success with our 30 Days to Healthy Living program. Obviously, you can only say that if you've done it. So if you haven't done it, then you need to say, I am getting ready to go through our 30 Days to Healthy Living for the first time, because you might be so new that you haven't done it. So wherever you are in there, if you've done it, share what your results have been. And if you have not done it, share the results you're going to be able to get. And say, use the if I would you verbiage that's so effective. If I sent you an overview of what this program is about and the benefits that people receive from it, would you take a look and let me know who you can think of who might want to learn more about this? And you can say, I'll reward you with, and fill in the blank on what is good for your budget. It could be a box of fizz, or it could be a little variety pack of fizz that you put together with some of your favorite flavors. Maybe just give 10 or 12 sticks in your boxes of fizz that go a lot farther. Or maybe it's just a sheet mask. Give them something, and for a referral that ends up joining you in the 30 days. If you refer someone to me who starts this 30-day program, I will give you whatever it is that you want to give. If they say yes, remember, you're always asking, if I sent you this, would you take a look? And then send it to them. And, again, watch that video and you will want to send it. Many of those we ask for referrals are going to take a look at that and want to do it too. But it's a whole lot easier of an ask, especially someone who's maybe used the nutrition products and already believes in those, to ask them. If you have heard any training before on the 30 Days to Healthy Living, you've probably heard that we say, for you to say to the potential clean eaters, and I will coach you through this. We have a private Facebook group. You're going to get the recipes. You're going to get the meal plans, all kinds of great information, resources, and I will coach you through this. And I know when I first started hearing that, I thought, I don't want to say that. I'm not a nutrition expert. I don't want to promise someone that I can coach them through this. I know how to follow it myself, but what does that mean? And I just want to assure you, it's not coaching in the sense of that you suddenly have a degree in nutrition. It is connecting with them, staying in touch with them. You can usually get a feel for if they do want to be talked with every day or not, if they've just got this, but it's, checking in with them, talking them off the ledge if they need that, encouraging them, troubleshooting early on, because if you find out they're saying they are really, really hungry, they're doing something wrong. You don't get hungry on this if you're eating the foods that are satisfying and nutrient dense. And I'm so appreciative you saw the video, The Skills Sunday by Liz Nicholson, talking about her training on doing the 2-week reset. Well, what she's done to make it so easy is, and I have not done this, so this is new to me and I'm challenging myself to do this. She, in addition to her team's 30-day Facebook group, not instead of it, but in addition to it, she coaches however many are going through it. It might be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a Facebook Messenger group that she creates. And she has shared the post that she has used for day 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way through. I've added those to our team's board. If you are not on boards, ask your area manager. She has the Hope Dealer boards that she can share with you. And under 30 Days to Healthy Living, you're now going to see daily coaching texts and how easy that is. If you want to change it a little, put it in your own words, you can, but there is a text that you can put, or a message that you can copy and put right into your Facebook Messenger group. And, or it could be, if you're just coaching one person, just do it by text. There's no need to have a Facebook Messenger group. It's just a way, or it could be a text group of maybe 2 people or something. But just a way to get messages across to them. And you don't have to think, what am I supposed to say? It's day 4. What can I say new today? Well, there's something written in there. So I have inspired by Liz's training to do this. I think that a 2-week reset, if I could start it tomorrow with some clients, would have enough time, but I don't have time to call them all tonight to try to get people in there. So I'm going to say that I will offer it starting a 10-day one starting on Monday, and see if I can get some people to do this for 10 days. And, if nothing else, get them to be able to switch 1 meal a day to the shake and just begin to get used to the shakes and the fizz and begin to experience the benefit of those. And I bet this invitation will lead to more who say, I'll start in January. That's great. I really want people on the full 30 days in January. Another way to share our clean eating programs, if you saw the post today, is to invite people to a Zoom call that Fran Babishak and I are going to do on Monday night, Monday the 12th, and we will share an overview. And you're also going to hear from Diana Ofuia's preferred client, Donna Everhart. If you were at Fran's what month was it? September-ish. Donna was there in person and shared what is truly a transformation story. One of the most dramatic that I've ever heard in person. And it is, I don't want to take away her story, but one tiny part that blows my mind is she will tell you she was drinking 12 tall cups of coffee a day and had done that for years, had her license plate that said coffee cup. And I thought, how on earth is she going to go without coffee? I mean, I had a hard time going from 2 cups a day to none. And she's at 12. She started at the very end of June. And I talked to her today. I've heard her story, I've stayed in touch. She has still not had coffee, does not want it, realizes that it was responsible for the inflammation, that it was too acidic for her, and that she now is hooked on her fizz and feels so much better without it. And that is just literally a tiny drop in the bucket of all the changes that she's made and continues to make. And when you hear the night and day difference of what her health was like before and what it's like now, I'm just sharing this much of it because she's going to be on that call. And I want you to have guests hear this. It's incredibly encouraging and inspiring to me, especially with all that she had going into it and where she is now. And she is just so happy, and it's really transformed her health and her life. And it makes me so much more, excited to share it when I hear that. So besides marking your calendars, did I say everything I wanted to do there? And even if people who hear the call Monday night choose to wait and start in January, that's great. They still need to order their products in December to have them by then. And they can be, like I was saying before, changing one meal a day to a shake, beginning to use the Energy Fizz, and really seeing how great both of those are. And even seeing the difference our gut health makes. And they're just baby steps to doing the full program in January. All right, one more thing, and then I want Amber Fry to share something. Besides marking your calendars for December 12th, mark your calendars in a little bit bigger way for our nation's call on January 4th. That one, we only do this once a year, where we make it an hour instead of 30 minutes, because it's always our New Year's call to help everyone with vision, with goal setting, with a healthy mindset, and so much more. And we're going to include on this call a getting started training, not only for the benefit of those of you who are newer, but for every single person to just review the basics of this very simple business and be fully equipped to either launch if you're new, relaunch yourself, and to be able to confidently launch others going forward. So Mark, thank you, Connolly, for putting the notes in there. And then I was so inspired by something that Amber did just yesterday, which is typical of a work day for this girl, but just the difference that it makes to have a goal and then follow through and simply ask. And this has more to do with sharing the business, which ties right into here, because on the January 4th call, what if it was not just you on that call, but you and one or two other new consultants who have joined you because you reached out and asked in December? Amber?
I shared on our last Nations call that one of my takeaways from the retreat in Oklahoma was, multiple people said this, but then when you hear Cecilia Stoll say this in her training, you're like, okay, I've got to actually start doing this. And it was really getting back into calling people on the phone. So if you do this in your business already, if this is how you work your business, awesome. I really just got into the habit. I think, I could blame it on, being busy or, probably honestly just being like a scaredy cat and not wanting to be on the phone. I mean, even before my Arbonne business, I used to make Basil, my husband, call, and make appointments or even order takeout. Like, that's how shy I was before Arbonne. Can you believe that? Like, it would make me feel so sick. So I think I just got back into the habit of like kind of avoiding calling people on the phone. And when COVID happened, obviously I wasn't with people in real life. So I just got into a habit of voice texting people. And like, that's great. Like, I think that's like a tool that you can use. But Cecilia very clearly said that if you are voice texting or even texting, please don't do that, but texting or voice texting people to ask them if they're open to looking at the business. If that works for you, awesome. And honestly, it hasn't really worked for me. And I kept doing it. And maybe I almost convinced myself, like, maybe people don't want to do this business. But what was happening is that people have so much time to think about all the millions of reasons and excuses of why they don't want to do this business. It gives them time when you send them a voice text, So what she recommended, and I love this because she was like, it's just too important to voice text. It's like one of those things where you have to call them on the phone. It's that important. It's that awesome. So just get people on the phone. You could text them and say like, hey, can I give you a call? So this leads to my day yesterday. I had made a list, and honestly, this list came from, I'll share this because this could help inspire you just to create one even tonight while you're laying in bed, if you're on your phone or whatever, is to just go through your Instagram and the people that stick out to you. Maybe they're the people that every time you pass their stories or you're on Facebook and you see that person's name, you think to yourself, gosh, what if they said yes to this business? Like, what if they were on my team? Like, that would make me feel so excited. Write their name down, because I wrote down like all my scary asks, and I had a list of 17 that I tackled yesterday, and I just texted all 17 of them and said, hey, can I give you a real quick call today? Are you free? And I had 5 people text me back and say yes. I actually got on the phone, was able to connect with 4 of them yesterday. And one of them is starting the business with her boyfriend. He really wants to do it because she watched the Discover Arbonne with him. I accidentally called the wrong person, the wrong I could tell that story, but it's just funny. Is the wrong Chloe in my phone, but she's open to samples, which is really fun. And then somebody else who is not, but it just was like kind of getting really practicing, that getting into practice. And I will say, still sometimes I feel like I just started my business yesterday, because I'm like, right before I call them on the phone, or if they're calling me, I'm like, what am I going to say? Like, do you ever feel that way? Do you ever feel like, what am I going to say? And I always just tell myself to just take a breath and speak from the heart, like that you cannot go wrong when you just speak from the heart, And so some of these people I haven't talked to in a long time. And it was just really awesome to start out like, hey, this is really out of the blue. Or, your name is on my phone of a person that I really want to share this business with, because I love you and you're amazing. And so whether you speak, if you just speak from the heart and you just ask, are you open to learning more? I would love to share more with you. I just think you deserve to know about this business. You can't go wrong, like how flattering. I would love this, even if I didn't want to do it. And again, if I didn't know anything about Arbonne, I didn't know about this community, I didn't know about the amazing products, or what kind of like hope I would have every single day when I wake up in the morning and I think, gosh, I've got this business. This is amazing. If I didn't know that, it would take some time for me to understand that. And I think about the person, if they were sharing the business with me and I didn't know any of that kind of stuff, they would have to be pretty persistent. They'd have to keep sharing. They'd have to keep giving me little glimpses of it. And I think that's me on this end. I'm giving people little glimpses of what this could be for them. And so it's just exciting. I feel like if you've got a list of 17 or more, just text them, say, can I give you a call today or tomorrow? I have a question for you. The question is, can you take a look at this business? So I think that's something you guys can run with, and it's actually really fun. I think after like your first or second, you're like totally in the groove if you can make time for that. So
I love that, Amber. Thank you so much for sharing, and you inspired me when you shared that with me yesterday, and I'm so glad that you were able to be on and share it tonight. Fran next is going to read our recognition, and we do have a new district manager that we wanted to hear from tonight. She couldn't be on the call, but Amber's going to ask her to do a Facebook Live, so be watching for Jane. But right now, let me get this, and here we go.
Okay, lots of people to congratulate. This was awesome. So Maris Mulroney, sponsored by Maggie Nagard, Renee Karen, sponsored by Amber Fry, Rachel Beauville, sponsored by Connolly Stewart, Ashley Powell, sponsored by Rachel Campfield, Katrina Alanis, Jane, sponsored by Jane Montez, Cassia Noblet, sponsored by Callie Fetchko, Becky Some, sponsored by Amber Fry, Esther Ibarra, sponsored by Rachel Campfield, Regina Gregory, sponsored by Amber Fry, Suzanne Catucci, sponsored by Brooke Anderson, Lauren Southward, sponsored by Connolly Stewart. I haven't seen her in a while. Rebecca Wooten, sponsored by Lauren Southward. Congratulations to all who are in the qualification to be district. And big, huge congratulations to Jane Montez from, I can't read the town, Almondorf, Texas. And am I correct? Jane is Rosalie's daughter?
Yep.
Is that the connection?
Right.
Yeah, cool. Okay, way to go.
And we'll hear from Jane hopefully within the next few days on a Facebook Live.
Awesome. And big congratulations to Amber's sister, Anna Knight, sponsored by Dina Kretzler. Yay, Anna. And those who achieve their customer acquisition bonus for the consultant bonus, Katrina Alanis. District manager bonus, Amber Fry, Connolly Stewart, Dina Kretzler, Rosalie. Way to go, Rosalie. And that was in her first month as a new district manager. So she gets the $200 bonus, the extra 100 from Arbonne, and the extra 100 from her RVP, Amber.
Wow.
That is awesome. Congratulations. And the two who have achieved their area manager bonuses, way to go, Amber and Dina.
And let me just add one more thing here to the list of Rosalie's accomplishments. In her first month as a new district manager, promoted out a district manager, and that is Jane, who we're going to hear from. So Rosalie, that is amazing, amazing. We always say take a breath, but not a break, and keep going. And I'm not even sure you took a breath. So that's really, really awesome. All right, let's keep going. Go, Fran. Here we go.
All right, so tops and changing lives. These are new preferred customers, consultants who sponsored new preferred customers. And if you did 5 or more, over 150, that's those who have changed 5 lives or more. Katrina, Amber, Connolly, and Janet. And those who changed 1 or more, Dina, Fran, Amber, Lalistra, Jane, Crystal Simmons, Cassia, Jennifer Condry, Jen Lapp, Kate Stone, Nadina Pendleton. Way to go, Nadina. Tori Rogers, Jasmeet Singh, and Carissa Brown. Fantastic. And tops and changing lives, top districts were Rosalie, Amber, and Connolly. Woo! And top area, Amber, Dina, and Connolly. Well done. And those who had tops in personal sales, myself, Dina, and Connolly. And then those who achieved perfect brick, which is 2,500 plus 5 new preferred clients with 150 or more, Katrina, Amber, Connolly, and Janet. Awesome.
Here we go.
And those on their way to Mexico. Pour the margaritas now. So those with 100 points, Anna Nice and Jamie Combati. 200 or more points, Courtney Lewis, Rihanna Peasy, Amber Lalistra, Maggie Nagard, and Janet Benson. Those with 700 plus points, Connolly Stewart and Fran. And those who are over 1,000. And can I say, I believe somebody earned the trip, Amber? Or did both of you, Amber and Dina?
Close.
You're super close, both of you. Okay. All right. Very, very close to earning that trip. That's fantastic.
All right. Thank you so much, Fran. And I want to just close out tonight by sharing a tiny bit, we've got 2 minutes, from the 7 decisions. I know that I read from one of the decisions earlier, a couple of months ago. It was under the active decision. And I heard a lot of you say how much you really loved that. The last chapter that I'm on now is the persistent decision. Each one of them have a little subtitle, and the persistent decision is, I will persist without exception. And he says, of course, this won't mean quite as much because you don't know what all the other 6 decisions are, and I'm not going to read all those because I want you to read the book. But the success with the first 6 rests on our ability to embrace and master the persistent decision. And there's great stories. This is not a hard book to get through. He's got a lot of true stories in it that back up what he's saying. And one of them, under the persistent decision, talked about how in Australia, there was a tribe of Aboriginal rainmakers. Now, there were lots of tribes of these, but there was one specific tribe that always had success. And so much so, they became so well known that the white communities around started going to just this one tribe when they were experiencing a drought and wanted them to be the one to do a rain dance. And it always worked. And so one of the leaders of one of these white communities went to the king of this particular Aboriginal tribe and said, why is it that every single time you dance, it rains? The king replied, it's very simple, actually. We dance until it rains. And I thought, Oh my goodness. I love that. I will never forget that. And immediately can see, the applications to this. And are we really willing to dance until it rains down results? Or do we stop dancing and saying, I don't see where this is going? And this is, I'll just read straight from the book. Hanging in there, staying the course, and waiting for the success to happen is your best strategy. Do you know you cannot fail at whatever you've chosen to do? The only way you fail is if you quit. Failure and success are totally in your hands. And I love this next part. Some people might say to you, you'll never make it. It'll never happen. Why are you wasting your time? This is not even a book about network marketing, but does that sound familiar? Okay, you've got to remember that one day somebody's going to be wrong and somebody's going to be right. And it's going to be really obvious to everybody who's who. Let those words wash over you. You're totally in charge. You have not failed until you quit. I will persist without exception. And one more tiny little bit in here. Talked about wherever you are in your life at the moment, you are only at halftime. Yes, they ran up the score on you in the first half. You made some mistakes, but you're about to run out on the field again with the lessons you learned. You will play a different game. Nothing is less important in life than the score at halftime. The tragedy would not be that you lost. The tragedy would be that you almost won and quit. I'm going to skip a whole page and read the last couple of sentences here. Persist without exception. From this day forward, you will believe in the certainty of your future. Fear has no place in your life. It's time to have faith, believe in the future, and watch your future manifest. So I just want to leave you with those thoughts right there. I love that. There's so much in between. I wish I could read every single word, but then we really would go over. But I have let Fran, yes.
Can I add one thing? I left off Thomas, who had 250 points toward Mexico. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Okay. I thought that was on there. Congrats, Thomas. All right. That is awesome. We'll always want to get that in there. Let me see if there are any other messages in here. Okay, that's good. All right. Enjoyed being with you so much tonight. Remember, working your business 30, 60, 90 days ahead. And Amber, thank you so much for the reminder. Pick up the phone or call and ask. So thank you all. Love each one of you.
Good night.
Good night. Oh, I did record. Oh my goodness. Okay. Here's the end recording.